Committee to order. Do I need to read the in accordance with open meeting law part?
Please.
In accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised that this meeting is being broadcast live over the Lunenburg Public Access Channel and Zoom. To join the Zoom meeting, the meeting ID is 859-0674-1187. This meeting will be broadcast live through the local access cable channel and on the public access Facebook page, and will be found on the Lunenburg Access YouTube channel within 24 hours after the meeting. The agenda lists all the topics which may be discussed at the meeting and those that are reasonably anticipated by the chair. Votes may be taken as a result of these discussions. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by open meeting law. And we're going to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we're going to start tonight with our retiree recognition.
Good evening, everybody. This year, we have 3 teachers retiring. So we'll start first with thanking Karen Giuliani, one of our art teachers at the high school, for 24 years of service to Lunenburg. She's done a phenomenal job with the art department, and art classes are some of the most coveted electives that we offer at the high school. So we wish her well in retirement. Next, we have Mrs. Peggy Proctor. She's a world language teacher at the middle high school, teaching grades 8 through 12, for 26 years of service to the Lunenburg Public Schools. And I will say that I think I'm going to miss Peggy's sense of humor. She just has an innate sense of knowing when somebody needs a little laugh.
You can go either way. That's a double-edged sword.
And lastly, Mr. Robert Hill, a science teacher at the high school, for 32 years of service to the Lunenburg Public Schools. And he and his wife will be taking over the family business at the apple orchard. So he's got a next career that he's going to start pretty much right away. So I'm sure that they'll all enjoy a little bit of time off in September when everybody's back in school. So wish them well and good health, happiness, and lots of relaxation in retirement. And if Mrs. Proctor would just...
Thank you.
Oh, so pretty.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, can I say something for 1 minute?
Oh, absolutely.
Mr. Hill, I'm sorry he isn't here because he actually was my geology teacher when I was a freshman in high school, and he was quite a young teacher at that point, and he was everyone's favorite. So I'm sure he's still. I didn't have Mrs. Proctor, so but I'm so happy for him. But I'm sad to hear he's retiring. He was always such a great person. During the rallies. In the early 2000s, he was always the person who hosted the rally, and he always had some creative, funny shtick, really, that he performed. So he was great.
Yeah, they will all be missed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of longtime retirees, which is, it's going to be tough next year without them. So thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Liz, do you want to come up?
Hello, everyone. And I know Kate is probably going to kill me after this, but but I had to do it. Dear school committee members, staff, families, community members, Rockin' retirees, and Dr. Burnham, I wanted to take a moment to thank and honor Dr. Burnham, who's been the guiding force behind our school district for her 7-year tenure. With her being a former science teacher, I often wonder what led her to choose Lunenburg as her experiment. Most people, when they think of a superintendent, typically say to me, "What does she do all day?" Well, now let's take a look at the real talents in a day in the life of a superintendent. Number 1, strategic planner and thought partner, survived more lengthy meetings than humanly possible in one day or week. Number 2, dodger of angry emails, somehow still responding to this day with patience and grace. Number 3, spreadsheet creator, fastest mouse mover and formula checker in the West. Number 4, snow day decision diva, talking to DPW, Director of Facilities, and me before the crack of dawn to make sure that all students and staff are safe. Number 5, fearless facilities fanatic, handling water main breaks, thermostat issues, air quality control, capital projects, and taking out trash all in a day's work. Not to mention purchasing fans and air purifiers for the schools out of her own funds. And these are just a few of the roles you manage with cool ease. Your thoughtful strategic guidance and your dedication has been unmatched. You have led this district with a touch of wizardry in the way you navigated and conquered COVID with remote and hybrid learning, rainbow budgets, and diving into the budget bunker for hours and hours at a time. We have benefited tremendously from your problem-solving attitude, the changes and initiatives you have implemented, and the academic achievements you have helped our district attain. As you step into retirement, our wish for you is to embrace this new chapter of your life. This is a time to relax, and we are so jealous. Pursue your passions and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Whether it's spending time with your family, traveling, actually being able to read a book from beginning to end, or simply enjoying the peace and quiet. Yes, that's right, quiet. You deserve all the happiness and fulfillment those moments will bring. Your retirement marks the beginning of a new adventure. Rest assured that you have taught us how to be strong, work as a team, and when to take a deep breath and realize it is going to be okay. The lessons we have learned will stay with us for many years to come. So, Kate, here's to you from all of us in central office and administration. And when you feel nostalgic thinking of Lunenburg, think Taco Tuesday, and it will make you smile. Thank you. And now I have a plaque for Kate for all of her years with the 4 schools on it and some flowers.
Can we get a picture of you two?
Has to snap a picture. Thank you. We just wanted to know what the truck.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you.
Did you guys want to, do you want to do public comment, or do you want to? Yeah, you can come up.
I'm Carol Ashambo, a former member of the school committee, and before I read what I wrote, I just also want to publicly thank Mr. Hill and Mrs. Giuliani and Mrs. Proctor, my 2 children, who have long since been graduates, had each of those teachers and benefited greatly from them. So as I first began my tenure on the school committee 7.5 years ago, one of the first tasks was to select a new superintendent. The district was in need of increasing student achievement and creating a uniform curriculum. Data-driven instruction using up-to-date materials across all grade levels had to be looked at. This was an area of strength for Dr. Burnham. She hit the ground running to discover where the places of greatest needs were. Throughout the pandemic and the financial crisis that followed afterwards, she kept the focus on our students and staff. Her superior creative thinking skills and persistence allowed the district to continue moving forward, adding much-needed social-emotional support to increase academic support. I wish to thank Kate for her investment in our students, our families, our staff, and our community. She has moved our district forward. I also want to wish her the very best in her next assignment, retirement. I hope you enjoy less hurried days and more time with your beautiful grandchildren. Lunenburg Public Schools are better for the time you have spent here, and I thank you and wish you nothing but the best going forward.
Thank you, Carol.
Okay. All right. So I think we're going to move on to public comment. Is there any comment from the public here in person, or is there anyone on Zoom? All right, seeing none, is there any public comment from the board?
Oh.
Okay. So we are also going to make you sit through this again next meeting. Which I was sitting here wondering, which do you prefer, the angry emails or the compliments? And I feel like you can handle the angry emails and you're not comfortable with the compliments, but sorry.
I think that might be.
But, so, yeah, and I would like to honor our retirees. I think it's a testament to how long they were here and the kind of culture that they've helped to create in the school, and they will definitely be missed. And I also, want to say congratulations to the students who are about to graduate in just a few days. So, okay. Chair's report. Tony, do you have a chair's report?
The only thing that I would like to say is that Isaac had Mr. Hill this year, and my son Isaac, and he was one of the most engaging educators he's had in his entire academic career. The only thing I regret is the fact that Isaac did not have a chance to have other teachers who are retiring in his time at Turkey Hill, or in the high school, and that my other son, Ethan, will not have any of them. They were all extraordinarily gifted. They all reached students in a way that made them feel special and brought subjects alive. And I am grateful that these people are working in the cradle of democracy, teaching our kids not only how to be smart people, but also how to be good people.
Okay, thank you, Tony. Do we have a student representative report? Nope, I'm not seeing her. And review and approve minutes. Tony, these are,
Can't do this.
oh, no, we got one set for you guys.
Laura, we can't do this.
Oh, we can't?
We won't have a quorum.
They can abstain, that's what we did last time. Oh, but you're
Okay.
not.
All right. I just want to make sure we can do it that way.
Okay, do you want to separate it into two motions for the ones that you and I were part of and have the others abstain? And then we can someone can make a motion to accept the minutes from 5/20/25?
We could also just say, we would accept all the motions except the ones where you would abstain, and just do it all at once.
Okay, somebody motion that.
I would make a motion to accept all of the meeting minutes as recorded and allow members who are not on the school board to abstain from voting except for the one where they were present.
I'll
Thank you.
second it.
All right, we need to do a roll call vote because you're remote, so.
Yes. Mr. Schoenbrini?
Yes.
Mr. Yap?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilman?
Yes.
Mrs. Young?
Yes.
And Mrs. Brzezowski?
Yes. Okay, review and approve line item transfers and warrants and donations. And we only have warrants in the amount of $598,262.60.
So we do have
We do?
donations and
Oh, I missed that.
some line item transfers this evening. You'll notice that there's a new mechanism, a new procedure in place, put in place at Town Hall. So as you accept these donations, we will now require school committee signature to accept the donations. All right, so this evening, there's a donation from Lauren Perilla in the amount of $800. And this donation is to the primary school for the purpose of STEM supplies for next year. Also, for the primary school, we have a donation through Box Tops in the amount of $31.70. That will end up in the gift account so that it'll be applied to future field trips and presentations for students. And the third donation is also to the Lunenburg Primary School in the amount of $2,381.08. That was from the Scholastic Book Fair through the PTO. And that money will be also applied to future field trips and presentations for students. And I would recommend acceptance of all three.
Okay. Can we get a motion to accept the donations?
I would make a motion to
Make a
accept
motion to-
all of the donations with gratitude.
I'm sorry, Tony, what was that?
I said, I would make a motion to accept all of the donations with gratitude.
I'll second.
Second it.
Okay, and it's a roll call vote.
Mr. Schoenbrini?
Yes.
Mr. Yap?
Yes.
Ms. Gilman?
Yep.
Ms. Young?
Yes.
And Ms. Brzezowski?
Yes.
And I'll pass those down the table.
Okay.
And then we have several line item transfers.
Are those in our folder?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think there's a subfolder.
Oh, no, there is no.
No,
that's
no
what-
subfolder,
that's
but
what
there are
threw me.
two.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no, just one. Just one with many different lines being moved. As we get to the end of the year, as we close out lines, any remaining funds, and you can see some of the amounts are as little as $1.06. We tend to move those funds to other lines where they can be applied. The total amount of money being moved from various lines totals $231,912.49. The funds are being transferred from general supplies, art, music, guidance lines, math supplies, salary lines due to unfilled positions, custodial lines due to staffing changes throughout the year, as well as maintenance salaries, as our director of facilities position was vacant for a period of time this past year. Two lines where we would need more funds to cover expenses. The computer contracted services line was initially budgeted to cover the IEP software program, which we deployed through PowerSchool. However, the IEP software program ended up being eligible to be covered through a FY25 grant, freeing up money in the budget. So we would be looking to transfer monies to unemployment compensation, mileage reimbursement, spring athletics for transportation and stipends, various stipends for the district, different student activities, as well as payout of unused vacation time for those on individual contracts who are leaving the district, like myself. Dr. Gilson is here if you have any questions about any of the lines.
Make a motion to approve the line item transfers as described in the documents.
Did you have a question?
I just had a more procedural question. So as the end of the year is coming up, do we do another one?
Yes.
Generally at the end of the fiscal year in
Yep.
July?
So, not in July.
Okay.
We have to move
take
and
a
close
while.
everything out for the fiscal year ending the 30th.
Yep.
We will have more line item transfers to bring in at the next meeting.
Yep.
You'll also get a list of purchase orders that we will need to hold open and not close out by June 30th because we still have pending invoices.
Yep.
So that will all be at the next meeting. And we likely by June 18th won't have every single line
Yeah,
down to
that makes
zero.
sense now that you say that, of
So
course.
we'll actually make a request to be authorized to remove any funds remaining in various lines by the 30th to be moved to designated lines for a specific purpose. And as long as the school committee is approving that, then those will all be made as we close out on the 30th.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay.
Sorry, Tony.
Yep, and this is typical end
Yeah,
of the year
yeah.
stuff.
No, I figured, I
as
just more wanted to make sure I
We set, I
understood the
mean, we
process.
set
a
this
little bit.
budget last, a long time ago, and the needs of the schools, as it shifts a little, we have to move things around. Are there any more questions? You want to go for it, Tony?
I'll make a motion to approve the line item transfers as described in the packet.
I'll second. Okay, roll call vote.
Mr. Schoenbrini?
Yep.
Mr. Yap?
Yes.
Ms. Gilman?
Yes.
Ms. Young?
Yes.
And Mrs. Brzezowski.
Yes.
And I will pass those along for signatures as well.
Okay, and we are on to superintendent's report. Two more of these to go. There's this one and one more, and then,
Yes, 2 to go. All righty, so this evening, just want to provide you an update on transportation. At this point, we have 1,074 requests for bus transportation for next year. And at this point, there are currently 484 students for whom we have not received a bus fee payment. We have to forward a list of students to D-Bus so that they can designate assignments on bus routes. So, again, we will be communicating with families that names will not be forwarded to D-Bus unless or until payment is made. As soon as payment is made, additional names would be forwarded to D.
is that 484 individual students or 484 families?
484 individual.
Okay, so it's probably slightly less, but that's a lot of work.
Yeah, families, yep.
Can you remind me, did people were asked to decline if they didn't want it? So these are people who haven't answered at all?
No, these are people who submitted a transportation form.
Okay.
And indicated that they wanted
They needed
bus,
transportation, but they have
but
not.
they have not paid yet.
Okay.
Do we have a cutoff? What,
So the cutoff for the transportation forms was May
What?
1st.
Yep, I know.
And normally, moving forward from here, your due date for payment will also be May 1st. However, this year, because it took a little bit of time to get the RevTrak set up to receive bus payments, we communicated out to families that the due date for payment was June 1st, which now has passed. It's not too late for people to make payment. It's just that we will have to be forwarding a list of students over to D-Bus so that they can create the routes and assign students to buses. So,
is that the difference between a bus or not a bus? Because at some point, I think we're going to need to set a date for if we
Yep.
don't have your payment, it's just not happening.
yep. We won't be assigning anybody unless the payments come in.
And I'm assuming that's people that, because like my family, my kids both qualify for free busing, so obviously that's just because of our distance and the age.
Yep.
So that's obviously my family. I didn't pay anything, but it's taken out of that number.
Right.
Okay.
All righty. Senior events, it is that time of year again, busy, busy. Today was the last day for seniors, and motorcade was this morning. A little smaller motorcade than we've seen in recent years, but lots more kids in each of the cars. And they did a fantastic job decorating. It was a lot of fun to see them out on the road and coming in, and confetti cannons, and it was a good time this morning. So, well done, seniors, well done. Senior Awards Night is tomorrow evening, and graduation will be this Saturday. And at least right now, we're thinking there's maybe a better than 50-50 chance that it would be moved indoors due to the weather forecast. Mr. Santry plans to make a decision tomorrow afternoon and communicate that out to families. If it is indoors, the graduation ceremony will be held in the gym. We can accommodate a little bit better in the gym. I would like to announce that Shanina Burns, who has been an assistant principal at the high school for the last year and a half, is now going to be the assistant principal / athletic director for next year. It's going to be very different, and I would just like to let the community know one person cannot do the job of two people and do everything that was done when we had two people. So please be patient. We'll do the best we can. Additionally, relative to key positions being filled, the finance position, we have had two different finalists for the position decline the position based on the salary. It is posted again. An update on the move of central office from TCP over to Turkey Hill. That move is going to be happening sooner than we had planned. There is a new program that will be using 4 classrooms in the same corridor as our extended day and early learning center and grant-funded program. 2 of those rooms for the new program that will be coming in are currently used by extended day. We actually vacated one of those rooms already this week, and we will have to vacate the second room Monday the 16th, because we have students until the 13th. And then we have to be completely moved out of the extended day wing by the end of June rather than July 15th as originally agreed to with the interim town manager. We have contracted movers to move the heavy items such as desks, file cabinets, and our large conference table. That move will be occurring on June 26th. And at this point, we think that the transition over the administration offices should be functional with internet and phone on Monday, June 30th. A few
Can I,
calendar reminders.
one thing about that?
Yep.
Or do you wait till the end of these updates? Sorry.
We can wait till the end. I'm almost done.
That's fine.
Calendar reminders. Last day of school is Monday, June 16th. That's an early dismissal day for students. The next school committee meeting will be June 18th at 6:30. That'll be hybrid from the middle high school. A reminder that offices will be closed on Thursday, June 19th for the Juneteenth holiday. Our ESY, Special Education Summer Programming, starts July 7th, and our Extended Day Summer Programming starts July 14th, and the summer extended day will be located at the primary school campus. Lastly, there's been some communication with the town manager to different chairs of the 3 major boards, looking to, rather than reconvene the budget task force, the plan at this time is to schedule tri-board meetings once a month. And that is the full membership of the school committee, the select board, and the finance committee. The meeting dates that have been proposed are July 8th, August 26th, September 30th, October 14th, initially November 11th, but that is a holiday, so that one may change. December 9th and January 13th, and I can get those dates out to the committee. All of those dates are on Tuesday.
Does this also feature the department heads?
There will be some key staff that will be involved in attending and participating in some of these meetings, so.
Are these public meetings or just
Yep.
for those?
Oh, yeah, if the five
Yep.
of us are there, it has to.
So as these are Tuesdays, that means you just added 7 meetings to your meeting schedule for the school committee for next year.
Dr. Burnham, this is Tony. Hello?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So since we have 7 meetings and 3 different boards, I think we should go back to the town manager and propose that 2 of them be on the day the select board meets, 2 of them be on the day that the school committee meets, and 2 of them be on the day that the finance committee meets, and then 1 be randomly assigned, as opposed to adding 7 meetings for us. I think that if we did a meeting with all 3 boards and then convened that and started our meeting, that would be less onerous on everybody. And since none of them are on the night that we meet, that seems disproportionately impactful to us.
Okay, I can carry that message forward to the town manager.
Is this in lieu of the budget task force?
Yes.
Okay.
And all 5 of us have to be there?
We don't have to.
Okay. I'm just, I can tell you I can't
Do
do that every week.
No, this is a lot. Especially for
Twice a
them
week.
to be on Tuesday nights.
Yeah.
So, one of the things I was going to recommend, I watched the selectmen's meeting last night, and they voted on this, so this seems to be pretty much their plan. And I know Brian's here, so he could always comment if he wanted to, but I thought it might be helpful for this committee to come up with a statement that we would present to the other committees, not based on the meeting schedule or anything, but our philosophy going into the budget conversations. That way, if all members of the committee aren't able to attend all 7 of those meetings, those of us who are able to attend some of those meetings could kind of carry forth what the group thought. So I would propose something like, in my personal opinion, I'm on board with looking at the needs of the entire town, but the school has taken cuts the last few years and other departments have not. So I would think we would want to have a conversation about whether the school board, how much we want to present covering those cuts that have already happened, right? Expanding and expanding services. I do worry that if we throw everything into this conversation and every department is able to ask for the moon, we're going to come up with a $10 million override that will never pass the election. So I just think it's really, personally think it's really important that the 5 of us are on the same page, given the fact that or a majority, of the board is on the same page, given the fact that there's going to be a lot of meetings. And, I'm going to try my best to attend all of them. I've made no secret the reason I joined this board is I want the schools to have more money. That is the number one reason I am here. So, I'm willing to go to those meetings. I had volunteered for the budget task force, but I want to make sure I'm carrying a message from all of us. Because I believe we need to be, I would urge us, and I know we're going to go through a transition with the superintendent, but I know Kate has been graciously said in 2 weeks, hopefully she can give us some numbers for a few years projections. And, I believe we should be out there pushing the select board and others to move as fast as humanly possible.
Yeah.
So I know that's a lot to think about. We don't have to come up with that all today, but I would like to, at least, and Tony, you're not here today in person, maybe put on the agenda for 2 weeks from now.
It
but
sounds like
I
an agenda item for next week, or
What?
next month, not meeting.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I said, I think it sounds like we need to add this as an agenda item for next meeting.
Absolutely, that's fine, so,
I don't think that we should go into this without having set out goals for the schools.
Yeah.
I think that if we don't do what you're saying, we're being neglectful.
agreed.
I'm a little concerned because I had talked personally about trying to get something on the November override, and that has just been utterly ignored.
Yep.
We talked about the staffing reasons for it. We talked about what our staff has gone through these past few years. We've talked about the need for expediency, and that's not what I'm seeing here. So,
Well, I think that means that we all need to go to these meetings.
Tony, do you think it would be something we could ask the town manager to formally let us know, or come to the next meeting, or talk to us what she thinks?
Sure.
Because I think I would like to hear from her exactly, because over the years, have heard everyone say we always move too fast, and it seems to get nothing done. So I am ready tomorrow to ask for more money. I mean, that's just,
I'll invite her to come to the next town, board meeting.
you know, and we need to make sure that the school board is representing the schools.
Yep.
okay. Can I ask a question about
Yeah,
this?
absolutely.
So because we're being forced out of TCP before we were ready, will our rent be prorated because we pay rent to be in that building? Will the rent be prorated because we're being asked to vacate early for another paying tenant?
That is a request I can put forward.
Okay.
Please do.
It just, yeah, we were told we had a certain amount of time, and
Correct.
We-
And there are staff for those programs that, in the normal ebb and flow of the year, they take vacation time the 2 weeks between when school ends and the program for school year ends, and just after the 4th of July when the summer program begins. And they are not going to be able to take vacation this year as they
Really?
typically would. I think they'll be able to get some days in, they're just not going to have the full time because they'll be packing up.
were we going to have to pay rent on the town hall when we had offices there for the municipal design? Was that the plan? 'Cause we
That
paid-
was never anything that was articulated to me.
Okay.
No,
I'm just curious
there was
because
not going to be a rent payment due.
the school system pays rent to be in TC Passios
For the programs.
for the programming,
Yep.
but not for offices.
Correct.
Which programs specifically?
The extended day, as well as the School Link Services grant-funded program for the birth to
Okay.
preschool. And our early learning center uses one of the rooms that the extended day uses before and after school. So there's a total of 7 rooms that we're using and paying rent.
Okay. Yeah, just if we could find out about, I mean, we could use every dollar we could get, and if we're being asked to vacate early, then,
So I have just a small aside. I used to be the vice president of the PTO. I stepped down to take this role, but the PTO has some stuff that's being stored at TCP, and I am having a hard time getting any clear answer from the town about whether we are able to still use that space. Looks like everyone in the room is not people I should be asking, but I know, or if there is a place somewhere, I know you guys are tight, so, but we would like it to be in a centrally located place where it wouldn't have to be at someone's house, right, to be able to go get things.
Yep.
Mindy, I did
My sense
forward an
is
email
that,
to-
my sense is that they really do want us to completely vacate TCP. But we'll see if we can't
Okay.
find some way to
It's
accommodate some storage for
Yeah,
the
it's-
PTO.
It's probably, I mean, it's probably an eighth of the classroom, maybe even less than that, but, you know, it's our prizes, things like that we use, you know, regularly, so. Thank you, Kate.
is the renting of TCP for the new program, is that a long-term thing, or is that a short-term thing? I'm just, we were told we had to leave.
Well, we're being told that we need to move out of the rooms that they have now committed to another program. So
Why did we have to leave?
Because
Can I just suggest that this is not a conversation we need to have in public?
Okay, sorry. Nope, sorry, Tony.
But the rent for the new program is effective, and they should have access effective June 1st.
Okay, yeah, we'll have conversations
1st.
later, because I have a
No,
lot of
June
questions about the situation, and,
We can put it on as an agenda item, but because it wasn't an agenda item,
yep, no,
I
that's,
don't know how far down the rabbit hole we want to get on this.
yeah, I just have a lot of questions about what happened there. Okay. Is that it for superintendent's response?
It
Are
is.
there any other questions?
Sorry, thank you.
Okay. Tony, did you have questions?
Nope.
Okay. On to new business, which we have the FY26 school handbooks, which are in your folders,
Correct.
and hopefully you guys have
Any
reviewed.
changes, I believe I advised the members of the committee that any changes would be highlighted in yellow so that you could see through a scan read what's being changed, what's different next year from this year. All of the principals are here and can answer any questions that you might have about any of the handbooks.
Without questions, I would make an motion to approve all of the handbooks as proposed in our materials.
Does anyone have any questions, or? No.
I'll second.
All right, roll call vote.
Mr.
Aye.
Schoenbrini?
Yes.
Mr. Yap?
Yes.
Ms. Gilman?
Yes.
Ms. Young?
Yes.
Ms. Brzezowski?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, on to old business, the 2024-2025 SIP progress reports.
So these are the school improvement plans for each of the schools, and we annually, at the end of the year, bring them back with some notes updating progress that has been made over the course of the year. So you have notes update on progress for each of the schools' school improvement plans. Again, the principals are here if you have any questions about any of the school improvement plans.
Without questions, I would make a motion to approve the school improvement plans as included in our materials.
Any questions, are we, okay, you get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
But,
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Roll call vote?
All right, Mr. Schoenbrini,
Yes.
Mr. Yap,
Yes.
Ms. Gilman,
Yes.
Ms. Young,
Yes.
Ms. Brzezowski.
Yep. Okay, we're cruising along. Oh, where did it go? Okay, and we are on to the facilities and grounds report, which is also in your folder.
Yep. So a little bit different as compared to the last several monthly reports. Dr. Gilson has put together a comprehensive summary of all the projects that have gone on this year, if they're completed, if they're not completed, what the status is, as well as an update on readiness for all of the capital projects that are going to be underway this summer. It's a comprehensive document. It's a good document for the new members of the school committee to have a complete update on all the work that has been going on and what is planned for the summer. It's also going to be a good document for the new finance director as well as the new superintendent,
Is this available online?
as well as our relatively still new facilities director.
Relatively?
Yeah, he's seasoned at this point. He's been with us a little bit, and he's not a rookie anymore. He's
Okay.
doing a good job.
Does anyone have any questions on the facilities and grounds report?
I have a question.
Yep.
On the completion month column, is that when we wanted it to be completed, or is that when was completed and will be completed?
I'll invite Dr. Gilson up, since she's the one that put together the report.
I think the report answers that question. It says in progress with completion scheduled. All the other ones before that are dates that precede today's date.
I can't hear it.
Okay.
It's
So,
hard to hear you, Tony, sorry.
yeah.
No, no.
Mr. Scolambrini, I'm going to just add to that. The completion month, like when it says 7/24, it was the turf feasibility study was done
Okay.
in July of '74. If you look at, I'm looking at like the fire alarm upgrade where it says in progress. Right now, we've held meetings with the contractors, we've obviously bid out the project, we've awarded the project to a specific vendor. We've been working with the vendor, and we have set a completion date for August 15th, 2 weeks before, and part of the contract is if people don't, if the vendors don't comply with contract, then they owe us money. So, there we
I
go.
like that.
Yeah, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. And if you want to read all the reports, they're attached with links along with the procurement process.
I did notice
I was
that.
going to say thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much. This is so comprehensive. It has everything. It's fantastic. If you guys, the links are very helpful
Yeah.
and get you up to speed kind of on where we are and where we're going. This is a lot of things that were done because there was a little while where things weren't getting done because,
We didn't have someone to,
oh, we didn't have someone,
We didn't have someone in the finance role to assist the facility director at the time in getting these projects bid out.
procured.
So truthfully, pretty much all that you see in this report, Dr. Gilson has been navigating,
Thank
in
you.
addition to the finance and the HR.
3 jobs in one. Yeah, there was a time when things kind of stalled a little, also because of COVID. Like this is us coming out of COVID. So this is quite a bit. It felt like so little, and now seeing it all laid out, that is a lot. So, thank you. Okay, do we need to
Just accept
accept
the
it? Okay.
Wait, can I ask one
Oh,
question?
yeah, sorry.
The playground at the primary school, that's on the capital plan, right?
Not
For
any, it will be coming back on the capital, the 10-year
The
capital
town
plan
capital plan.
in '27,
Okay.
because we had to swap out,
Because of the mini splits. and the
Correct.
money. Okay. I've just heard that 2 kids have broken their arm recently on that playground.
the scale of the playground needs to be reduced.
Yes, sorry.
reduce
Because that's something
injuries.
I shouldn't be.
I just want to add something. There's a full link to the full 10-year capital plan on this document too, so.
Awesome.
Any
Thank you
questions?
so much, yeah.
Yeah, the playground needs to get done, and I'm
Yeah.
very disappointed that it was not a priority.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure it was on the list
Mm-hmm.
somewhere, so.
Yeah, so, I know.
Just saying.
Because it's an overly large playground for where it is. Not over, it's overly,
The
Oh.
scale of the play equipment is.
kids sure
is
love it.
large for the
Mm-hmm.
age of the students at that building.
And at this point, it is,
It's not a criticism
20
of the
years
school
old.
district.
Yeah.
It's not I'm just asking, because I had heard that recently, so I figured the public should know that it's not.
yep, and that,
It would have to be
It-
a town meeting.
it
Right.
needs to be a capital
For other
priority.
people to know.
Okay, so can I get a motion to accept? And are there any other questions?
I don't know if I asked this now or not, but I'm looking at the turf field stuff, and I know some of this has already happened, but I'm looking at site reconnaissance, general investigation, topographic survey is 60,000, and then I see a feasibility study is 50,000, so I'm to believe we've spent $110,000 trying to figure out. I mean, I would think that somebody bidding on the project would figure that out and give it to us as part of.
We had ARPA money to do that assessment of the turf complex,
Yeah,
and it was 50,000 ARPA money.
yeah, it just,
The reference to the 60,000,
it's a site
that's
reconnaissance.
for the next phase.
That's in the next steps, yes.
Yes,
Um,
and that would be, like, basically, we talked to Collins Engineering. They did the study, and the next steps there, your next steps listed for everything, but the next steps there.
Yeah, I see that. Next.
Yeah, and then what you're referencing is the feasibility study was done, but one of their recommendations was that you needed certain plans to do the actual construction. So the actual construction of the project is what is that next step bid that would go out to bid and other people would put in for doing it.
And
Yeah.
Well,
it's also
it's-
included in the 10-year capital plan. So that
It's
that
in a
is,
10-year, okay.
Yeah.
So it's spread over 10. But it just seems like, just in my experience, typical is a survey for, somebody wants to do a project, it's a survey for grade, it comes into, part of the estimation phase goes into that. And it seems like a lot of money to,
so the ADA
Shoot a
study is
grade.
linked in here, right?
Yes, the ADA
Not
study is
the
there.
ADA study, the turf study, the 50,000 assessment.
Yeah.
They did essentially come out and take a look at the damage
Yeah, I saw the
that's on the
photos.
property.
Yeah.
And recommend what steps would need to be taken in the next phase to correct the challenges, the issues that we're having there. And they did provide us with cost estimates for the different
yeah, I read those, yeah.
actions that would have to come next.
Yeah, I just question the amount of money that it costs to do something like that, because it just seems excessive, that's all. And,
So you
So I'm-
bid it out and you accept the lowest bidder
okay,
that will do a
I
reliable
think the
job.
low bid was still high, but
Well, yes, we had many come in like over what we
Yeah.
recommended, so,
yeah.
yeah, okay?
All
It would
right,
be great to have your expertise to help us.
Yeah, I'm
because this is a
getting very
huge
excited
problem.
about this.
Yeah, me
Like,
too.
we're going to get
I'm
somewhere.
busy that day.
Okay, are there any other questions about the
That's it for me.
facilities and grounds report?
I move that we accept the facilities and grounds report.
Second.
All right, roll call vote. Mr. Schoenbrini? Oh, I see Sean.
Took a break, unauthorized break.
Mr. Schoenbrini, that's a yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Yap, Ms. Gilman,
Yes.
Ms. Young,
Yes.
and Mrs. Brzezowski.
Yes, thumbs up. Okay, and moving on, under old business, we have review of operating protocols. And so, yeah, I printed out for you a version that's a little shorter. Did you get a chance to look at it, Tony? Oh, no, he's gone. And if we wanted to discuss, this is not like this is how it's going to be. And did you guys get a chance to look at our old operating protocols?
No, but I read this one
ago.
before we started.
Yep, those are, which personally I would like to,
So here's my only point. I do not think they should be guidelines. I think they should be rules, because if we make them guidelines, then we would be giving people the permission to go over. Whereas if they are rules, the people will have to ask us. And I think that little bit of social friction will help clamp down on excessively long comments and presentations. If we want to get people involved and get people to support what we're doing, we have to be clear and transparent, and the way to do that, or one of the ways to do that, is to make our meetings more accessible. So I would ask that we stick to the original proposal and make them rules, with the understanding that we could do what we've always done, which is to vote to increase the time if we need to. You know, the 3-minute comment rule has always been in place. A lot of these other presentations have always been in place. The difference here is that we would budget each agenda item based on, you know, what it would be worth, and there would be exceptions so that we could accommodate emergency items. But if we make them guidelines, then all we're doing is creating, you know, soft conditions that will be violated every time. The other thing is, if we make them guidelines and we vary a lot in who we give guideline lenience to, my concern is that it would show favoritism. So if we make them rules, I believe it would move things along quicker. I also think that for purposes of making it easier for people to show up to meetings, we should do them in one place. I understand the symbolism of the dual role of the school committee, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what our dual role is if people don't know where our meetings are. So I would ask that the original proposal as written be voted upon, and I would actually move that the original proposal minus the ban on PowerPoint be voted upon, and then
Ban on PowerPoint.
I don't, they shouldn't do PowerPoint, but if they want to do PowerPoint, that's fine.
I would argue that by making them rules that we can decide to break for people we like is in fact would be more showing favoritism and opens it up to more abuse. So these are the strict rules. Sorry, you can't speak because we don't like you and we don't like what you're going to say, so you're cut off. This presenter is cut off after the 15 minutes because we don't like what you're going to say. But other person, we like you, we're personal friends with you, we like what you're saying, so we're going to vote so you can keep going. Whereas if it's guidelines, it just helps the presenters, most of whom are our employees and most of whom are professional teachers or communicators. It gives them more of a guideline for meetings, but they're not beholden to it if the information they have to share is more than the time allotted. Also, if it's guidelines, I feel like if we say you have 15 minutes, people will be more likely to fill the 15 minutes as opposed to just get the message across.
I will say that we've never not voted to give somebody more time. In the past, when we've had comments that went on long, beyond the 3 minutes, there has never been a time when that occurred where the full committee did not unanimously support extending the time limits. So I don't think it's a real concern if there are rules, and I understand that everybody's a professional, but the reality is, if we've got to do something about the meeting length. It is crippling people uptaking information from us. And if we're going to work together on override, we need to be quick, we need to be succinct, and we need to be engaging. And overly long presentations do not help anybody. Overly long comments do not help anybody. So again, I would move that we vote on the original proposal.
So I'm going to make a comment. So I did try to go testify at the legislature yesterday virtually in support of non-regional school transportation. They cut people off after 2 minutes. They have a sign on the, they make people speak, and it's a 2-minute sign. I did end up testifying because I sat through the hearing for 3 hours, and then I did not, luckily it was virtual. I did not drive to the State House, but I was sitting in my office for 3 hours waiting to testify. So I do agree with Tony in the sense that I think we do need to have some rules. I don't think the 3-minute rule is a bad rule. Send us something in writing if you want us to read it.
That was under our old operating protocols,
Okay,
and I'm fine with keeping that.
So that I'm fine with. Tony, respectfully, I would like to keep the meetings in person in 2 places simply because if we can't meet here all the time, I have children at home and you do not want to see them on the Zoom. And I will feel very unprofessional trying to have a meeting at my house on Zoom all the time. I mean, that's just the honest truth.
Sorry, I thought I was assuming they would all be in person. I had given up that last time.
Oh, you did, okay.
In person, but in one
we can't
place.
meet in one place, right? That's the point?
We couldn't meet here
No,
continuously.
we could meet at the school every time.
Okay, so if we always met at the school, the reason we don't always meet at the school, my understanding is because we can't directly Zoom in, we can't beam into people's houses. We're not on TV. We're not on
Yes,
TV, right?
that's
At the
right.
school.
We're
We're
not
live on
live.
Facebook,
Or live on.
and that is how a lot of people watch us, and a lot of the older.
So when we're at
older people.
so when we're at the school, we're only on Zoom and then they post it later.
We're only on Zoom if Zoom works, and every time we've had Zoom issues, it has been at the school exclusively, not here,
Okay.
which I think is important to keep in mind.
But we can fix that. I mean, that's not an unfixable problem.
It
right?
has been so
We've got to
far.
fix that problem whether we have one venue or 2. So saying that we should keep 2 venues because one venue doesn't work means that we have to fix that problem either way.
I'm a fan of the symbolism of meeting here. So, for example, for the Municipal Building Design Committee, we come in here and we understand what it's like to meet here too, and we get a feel for why we might need a new town hall, because before I was on the school committee and coming in here all the time, I was not aware of the wasp infestations and the issues here. I think it's important to also be part of the town as well, instead of sequestering ourselves in the school.
I don't disagree, but I'm just saying, like, for convenience sake, people should not have to check like, think about what you have to do. You have to go on the Lunenburg website. You have to find the calendar appointment for us. You have to download the agenda, and then that tells you where you are. And like, if you're not tuned into the town and you're not a volunteer or like watching every day, not being able to participate because you don't have the time to do all of that means that we're just losing out on participation. So it's fine. I mean, I
always
don't-
meet here the first week of the month.
I mean, I agree with Tony that I think it's dumb that we meet in two places. I also think it's something I'm not sure I really want anyone to be spending energy on, so that's the problem, Tony. It's not that, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's not that I don't 100% agree with you, because when I didn't sit on this committee, I had never had any idea where you guys were. But on the other hand, it's like, do we want to be tasking, you know, the online people to be, like, you know, like the superintendent to be figuring out how to get us on TV 2 times a month? I mean, you know what I mean? I think that's, but I do agree with you, Tony, that I think we should have rules. So I mean, if you want to move it, I mean, I don't love the location part. I'm okay with what Laura wrote. If we make it rules, I would vote on that, just
Okay,
Xing
I
out
would
7.
amend my motion to eliminate the requirement that we meet in one place, but keep all the other proposals.
There was also the discussion of the start time.
Oh, yeah, we got to start later. I mean, it's too difficult for people that work, especially if they work in Boston or in New Hampshire. It's just, you know, like if I leave at 5 o'clock and I get home at 6 o'clock and I eat dinner, then I'm late, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Like, not just me, but everybody.
I'm fine with the 7 o'clock start time.
So I want you to
no
look in this
problem
room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people work full school days and then come to these meetings. If we start at 7, we are delaying the time that they have to be here. They're paid for, they're salaried employees, so we are not compensating them for this time.
So I respectfully, none of us are compensated for here, and we want to make it, we want people to be able to participate. And I used to have a full-time job where I commuted into Boston, and 6:30 is too early. It just is. I'm sorry for the people who are sitting in the audience. Every other meeting meets at, the select board meets at 7, finance committee meets at 7, right? Isn't there a
But Laura,
reason?
that argument doesn't make sense, because if we are going to start at 7 and end at 8:30, whatever, we're going to have these people for less time, right? You know, if it started at 6:30 but ended at 10:30, you know, it's still 4 hours. If we keep to a rigorous schedule, they will actually be there less time and leave earlier, even if we start the meeting later. So we should just stick to the schedule and have the meeting start at 7 o'clock.
Is the expectation that our employees will go home between the meeting and the school day ending?
I am not in the business of dictating what our employees do. They want to go home, they can go home. They don't
Have
want to go
you-
home, they don't have to go home.
Have you
But,
asked them
know,
what they prefer?
This is a volunteer board, and so the proposal is that we start at 7 o'clock. Start at 7, end at 8:30, they will be home.
Because it's more convenient for you,
No, because it's more convenient for everybody, Laura.
not more?
And I don't think it's
I mean, I
not
work all
about
day,
me.
so.
I'm simply telling you that it is too difficult for people that work to be here by 6:30. And I understand that it will tax our school committee, or our school employees more, but if we're leaving at 8:30, they get home earlier. So I think that that's the goal, to start at a time that people can participate in and to finish before the wee hours of the morning.
I second that.
All right, now we have a second, let's vote.
What was the motion?
The motion was my proposal minus moving the,
Wait, I was actually saying Laura's, do you have Laura's proposal?
I do, I read through it, yeah.
Okay, so I was saying I would like to vote on Laura's proposal, but strike out number 7, which is the location,
Okay.
and then say these are rules, not guidelines. That way
So
we're
then that
giving
would be
Laura what
identical
she...
to what I just said.
What?
I said that would be identical to the motion that I just made.
Okay.
So for simplicity's sake, the original proposal minus the ban on
PowerPoint.
PowerPoint.
Yep.
Minus the one location proposal. And I think we have a second.
And then everything else stays.
Yep, everything else stays.
You do have a second, yeah.
Yeah, I gave a second, yeah.
All right, any discussion?
Just your concern about rules or guidelines, I think if we have rules and everybody's following the rules, I think they're fair, right? Like, there's no, I
But
don't see that becoming out.
The idea is that people that Tony approves of can be wiggled room. I think it's poor
Laura,
governance.
that's not true.
I don't know if
just
the
gave you an
wording really
example why
matters.
that's
I
not
think
true,
regulation or
Laura.
rules, someone could still be in favor of
Yeah.
someone over someone else. I don't think the label really is going to dictate
I
who
agree
you
with
want
that.
to talk more and who you
Because a
want to cut
guideline
off.
or a rule, it doesn't
Yes.
really matter.
Is
Also, I
this
think it's the perspective
superseding-
of what people
Is
see as a
this
guideline. and-
superseding, Tony, is this to replace our original operating protocols that we've been working
Yes.
on?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a whole nother issue because you're getting rid of a lot of important operating, you're just throwing out all the old operating protocols.
Yes.
It is the school committee's responsibility to evaluate the superintendent's effectiveness in these matters in accordance with, I think these were important things, especially for new committee members. If we have a new committee member, like next year, come on.
That's fine.
These were
I
important
understand.
things, and we're replacing it with just
We can add to these as we
time
need
limits.
to, but the time limits we have got to have some time limits. Otherwise, this is pointless, right?
Okay,
Like, if we're
but you're
gonna have
okay with
4-hour
throwing
meetings
out
every day.
how we treat each other? We shall debate the issues, keeping an open mind to each other, to other members' opinions. We shall respect staff and fellow committee members at all times. We're just going to get rid of that? We shall work to build
I think that
trust.
that's just an assumption of what we have to do, right? Like, those are not you can't enforce those, right? There's no mechanism for enforcement, and if people are jerks, then people are jerks, and that, they'll suffer the consequences. But those rules didn't have any impact on us before, right? Like, no one ever raised those rules before as a grounds to do anything. If we want to add those rules back in, we can do that. I'm just talking about the structure of the meetings. Like, I don't want to have where we have to do the agenda items in the same order every time. I want to be able to prioritize public comment and high priority items. I want to make sure that we get people the chance to comment. I want things to be done quickly and expeditiously. I want to start a little bit later and end a lot earlier, right? And if we want to go through and add all of those other things back about comity, that's fine. I don't have any issue with that. The
Okay, I'm going to
question now
interrupt you
is-
because our meetings will no longer be guided by Robert's Rules of Order. I think it's a poor decision to throw out all of the school committee operating
Fine.
protocols
I
that
did-
we've been working under.
The proposal does not,
Could
is
we
silent on that one way or the other. So just the time stuff.
I'm sorry, what?
The proposal, the motion, is silent on getting rid of the old operating protocols. If we want to keep them, but amend them to accept the motion, that's fine.
He's saying keep what you're.
Yeah, can we
and
keep,
add this.
I would like to
Sure.
keep at least the current operating protocols and not just throw it out because you're trying to make meetings work for you.
Laura, stop
I
doing
think,
that.
Laura, I
don't
think he's
that's
trying to
fair
make-
or appropriate. I'm not trying to make them work for me. I'm trying to make them work for everyone. We have had really poor attendance, except for a few things, and it is because our meetings are overlong, they go off topic, and we have no limitations. It is not about me, and I would appreciate if you didn't make that comment. That's the second time you've done that, and that is not fair. I have not made this personal with anyone, and you have done it twice now. Please stop.
Okay. I apologize. I am frustrated. I would like to ask our employees that we're going to be making stay an extra half hour. I feel like,
We've already gone through that. We are not making them stay a half hour extra. We are going to end at 8:30. We have not ended at 8:30 except for a few rare occasions ever. So if we're ending at 8:30 and starting at 7, they're going home earlier.
okay. There's a motion on the table if you.
Would it be helpful for us to, respectfully to Dr. Burnham's leaving, talk about this with the new superintendent and see what her operating procedures are with her previous school committee? I'm not trying to keep pushing things off. I'm just curious if we are doing something a little bit
And we
before.
can always change it when she gets on if she wants to do something else.
I mean, I agree with you that meetings need to be shorter and more succinct. So, I mean, that's, I'm not a real I do think we're elected by the people, so I'm a little bit a democracy gal, so like, you don't
Yeah.
like what I'm doing, vote against me. You know, so that's just, so to me, the rules are a little bit, the rules are you vote me out, right? I mean, that's my
Yeah.
honest opinion. But I'm happy to be collegial and, you know, have rules that everyone's participating in and be respectful.
I think we need to keep the original
Operating
operating procedures, but I
Operating
like
protocols.
some of the additions that you've made as well. For me, the time doesn't really make a difference. I work all day anyways, so for me, I do have a commute. I mean, if I get home to bed later or stay a little earlier, it's not a huge, or start a little earlier, it's not a huge deal for me, but I'm not everyone, so, but I do think the respect, the kindness, all of those things are important, especially watching meetings over the past few years and how some things can go sometimes. But can we just superimpose your new ideas and include them with some of those old procedures as well, so we can kind of
Yeah, I would make a
compromise?
motion to amend the proposal as proposed by Emily.
Okay. So the motion that you're proposing is to add these guidelines, or your guidelines, without the
Yes.
location change.
Without the location change, without the prohibition on
Yeah.
Okay.
PowerPoint.
I'm not opposed to shorter meeting times, and I like the guidelines. I think I don't love them as rules. I think it's open to abuse. But
So we should vote, right? So
What?
what are we calling them? We calling them rules?
he wants to call them rules or I mean, if I don't have the votes, I don't have the votes, it's fine. I just,
I'm good with rules. I mean, it's a public forum and people need their opportunity to speak and hear. And if we let somebody run and we gotta shut them down, we gotta shut them down. I mean, I don't think it's, picking sides or picking somebody or picking on anybody. It's everybody wants a chance to speak, and if we let people just go and go, they're just gonna, to your point, Andy, you're waiting at a state legislature hearing, and they're like, bam, you're done. And there is no, doesn't matter who you are, or if the person up on the front likes you, doesn't like you, you know? If, we can also have a continuance of someone's time if time allows, you know? We don't have to be, we're not running the state legislature, but my opinion is, you call it rules, people say, okay, geez, but the rule is I can take 3 minutes, or I can take 15 minutes. That's what I'm gonna give. And if they use all their 15, that's what we gave them. If they don't, then that's their choice. But to Tony's point, guidelines just get us wishy-washy, and that's not gonna help us keep meetings moving. And we have teachers and people that work hard, including ourselves. And I don't think anybody wants to be in a room till 10 o'clock unless we need to be in a room till 10 o'clock, you know? That's my take on it. I'm in full agreeance with Tony on his amendments to, you know, the original guidelines.
Dr. Brennan, can we take a
My time is
roll
up.
call vote?
Okay, so we're gonna vote on this as an extension. We're gonna vote on the current guidelines that we sort of accepted last week, and then these as rules. Is that what the motion is?
The motion would be the proposal from last week without the ban on, without the ban on PowerPoint and meeting in 2 different places. It would be an addendum to the current operating protocol.
Yes, that's what I mean, an addendum to the current operating procedures.
Yes.
Yes.
did you run these by the new superintendent?
No.
Do we want to vote?
Ready for roll call?
Yep.
Okay. Mr. Schoenbrini?
Yes.
Mr. Yap?
Yes.
Ms. Gilman?
Yes.
Ms. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Brzezowski?
No. Okay, motion passes. Okay, I will start timing everyone. Okay, we are on to reports. Tony, do you want to start with reports?
I can. I was unable to attend the PTO meeting, unfortunately, and we have not met with policy subcommittee. It will be tomorrow, no, Friday, correct? Friday.
I think we're going to have to reschedule that one because
Okay.
Dr. Bookus is not going to be available Friday.
That's fine. Okay.
Was it posted?
No.
Okay, good. Okay, anyone go to any meetings in the past?
I did tell Tony I could get an update on the PTO. We had a great car show last week with the Lions Club and the Teen Center and the Community Food Pantry. It was a wonderful day. So I want to thank the schools for all their help getting the information out to students, and to thank all of our administrators who've offered really great prizes, including Dr. Burnham always hosts kids for lunch, and I have principals for the, they're going tomorrow, principal of the day, both at Turkey Hill and the primary, and there'll be a ride to school. Thank you to the fire department and the library and the police department who always step up and do things. The library is doing a slime party for a student, and then a ride to school in the fire truck, ride to school in the police car with Hank are always big prizes for the PTO. So it's a nice a community event across generations too. So we're hopeful we'll continue to do that.
Okay, and I had no subcommittees. Okay, so we are on to public comment. Is there any comment from the public? Okay, is there any comment from the public on Zoom? I can't see that.
No.
Okay, any public comment from the board?
So I just want to, on our agenda for our next meeting, we can put on some discussion about the budget task force / non-budget task force.
Next, that's topics for future discussion.
So, sorry.
No, it's okay, go. Go for it. We're almost there.
I told you guys I'm going to talk about the budget every day. Every time I'm
sounds
here.
good.
We should
Let
be.
it rip.
That's all I'm going to do.
Okay. Tony, did you have a public comment?
No.
Okay. Topics for future discussion. Mandy, go.
This is my part. Yes, so for our next meeting, we will discuss maybe a statement from the committee or something that is going to guide our discussions going forward, possibly also getting a read on whether the town manager can attend or a real formal response from her on timing, and also...
I just emailed the town manager, Mandy.
Excellent. Thank you, Tony. Yes, and then the projections that the superintendent was so gracious to say that she could have. And then my second question for future meetings, I didn't know if we wanted to schedule something with the new superintendent. Now, granted, we now look like we have a July meeting, but the more I thought about it, the more I was a little concerned about not seeing her from a budget perspective for a long time.
You'll see her the second week of July for a budget perspective.
But now it looks like we're going to have a budget meet. Lucky her. I don't know if we would have to post it, but maybe we could just have a Zoom with her, but like right before that. I don't know. I think we need to think about that so she's not thrown right into. I don't know.
Yep. That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, right, Tony. I don't know what we want to do, but maybe a Zoom. It'll have to be a public meeting, but at least all of us say hello, who we are, that kind of stuff.
Okay. I'm just filling in as chair, but would it be overstepping to ask let me know, Tony, if you could work before the meeting on some talking
Oh, yeah,
for
I
us
can
to discuss as far as the budget and
Oh, absolutely.
coming in with a cohesive voice?
Yeah, absolutely. I can get something to you guys. I'll try to get something to you in the next week.
Okay.
All of the committee members, or to Kate, and
Email
then
it to Kate,
she can put it out so people can give me feedback.
And
stuff.
then, yeah.
Give Kate
It'll give
feedback
Kate
because
feedback.
of the
Yep.
open meeting law.
Yeah, just so we could have I think you would set a good tone for a jumping off as far as the budget discussion goes.
Yeah.
And I really like that idea.
Thank you. I'm glad. I want people to know we're serious.
I think that's a good idea, because I think we have a lot of discussions and need to figure out.
Look out.
There's something I wanted to put on topics for future discussion. Oh, so the MASC you guys need to sign up for the Charting the Course. The MASC also will do workshops with us as a committee. And with a new superintendent coming in who's going to be setting her goals, I thought it might be a good time to have them come in and do a workshop specifically on superintendent evaluations, and maybe at the same time, school committee roles and responsibilities, because it's always good to touch on that. But so the superintendent, if you wanted to, the superintendent evaluations are kind of complicated and a little,
Cumbersome.
yep, that's a good, onerous.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot. And so the goals that that we set with the superintendent, do we set them together? Is it a?
She would come in and suggest the goals.
Okay.
And then you could consider them, approve them, recommend some changes, have other suggestions for a goal area. I would honestly strongly recommend that there be one goal around the budget and this override, because
Yeah.
it is going to consume all of her time. And I can tell you that from firsthand experience.
Yeah.
We believe you.
I think that's a really good idea. to
So,
do that.
yeah,
I mean, I do think that's a great
I
idea.
think it would probably, so I know,
Is it free?
I believe it is.
Yes.
Do you want me to
Okay.
touch base with them? And
No. If it's free, then I say we should do it.
I believe it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also, it doesn't have to be on a Wednesday night, and it can be a workshop situation
I
at a
can,
table. It's a little easier to,
I can survey folks for availability and coordinate with Dr. Fortuna, and then connect with MASC about availability on dates that you're available to do that workshop meeting. And we can do the two topics back to back.
if that works. Yeah, so, because the superintendent evaluations, or the superintendent goals, these goals, the evaluations, you can only evaluate on the goals. So learning the evaluations part is going to be important too, even though that's not going to come up for 2 years.
Guys, I have to go, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank
Tony.
you, Tony. Tell her happy birthday. Yeah, so I think if that's something you guys are interested in doing. Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'll talk to Tony and see if he wants to reach out to them. And that was, I think, it. Okay. And now I am looking for is that it? Does anyone have any more future topics of discussion, Emily?
Can we clarify the tri-board meetings? Is that set in stone, or did we say we were gonna go back to them about maybe switching up the dates a bit, right?
That was the request
Okay.
from Mr. Schoenbrini at the beginning of the meeting.
But we don't have any meetings scheduled for July, so I would assume maybe the July date would probably be, unless,
Yeah.
right?
Okay. George, did you good? Okay.
No, I'm
So
good right now.
I am looking for a motion to adjourn to executive session to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with non-union personnel, and to adjourn afterwards.
So moved.
Move.
Oh, can I get a second?
Second.
Okay.
Third.
And we do not need to do a roll call vote because Tony's left, so all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously, and good night, everyone.